Welcome, Star Wars Unlimited. This is the video I plan on using to try to explain the basics of this very fun trading card game. As soon as I get it up, I've got another one recorded of some more gameplay, but I thought it would be good to record a video and explain the absolute basics of the game. So I'm playing on a website called Force Table, which lets you just battle against the AI with decks you've made and imported or starter decks. This is the very first set starter deck. This is Luke Skywalker yellow versus Darth Vader green. Essentially, the base colors dictate what units you can use, and then there's that little icon below Luke's little blue icon in the top right, indicating heroism. So Vader's is red villainy, Luke's is blue heroism. So I can use blue, yellow heroism, blue heroism, and yellow heroism cards, as well as neutral cards. The game, when it first starts, a 50 card deck minimum, by the way, but when it first starts, you're prompted or asked in person if you would like to take a mulligan. I'll take a look at my hand here. You'll start the game with 2 resources. The number on the top left is the resource cost of the card. So I can see I've got a card that costs 7 resources, a card that costs 2 resources, although this is an upgrade, so I would need a unit to be able to attach it. A 3 resource cost card, a 1 resource cost card that I could play on turn 1, another 1 resource cost card, but one that probably wouldn't help me on this first turn, and then a 4 resource cost card with a special keyword called ambush. After you play this unit, it may attack an enemy unit. I have a unit I can play, and then something else I'd like to do with it, so we will not mulligan. So the game starts, you pick your resources. Han Solo is pretty amazing, so I want to try to hold on to him to that 7 resource mark if I can. I don't immediately see a need to repair a bunch of damage. I'm pretty far from being able to drop Luke Skywalker in the field, so this epic action here, if you control 6 or more resources, deploy this leader, flip him to the ground arena, and ready him, and then he would look like this. I'm pretty far from that happening, and I have a lot more of these Luke lightsabers in this deck, so I think I'll get rid of that. All right. They get to go first on this first turn, and we alternate taking actions. They exhausted both their resources to play a Viper Pro Droid and got to look at my hand. I'm going to choose to play a card. I'm going to play R2-D2. When played, look at the top card of your deck. You may put it on the bottom, otherwise leave it on the top. Ooh, another Luke's lightsaber. Sure, we can leave it on the top. I wouldn't mind grabbing another one. No, I would not like to put it on the bottom of my deck, so we'll leave it. My opponent has claimed the initiative. That's this token here. That determines who will go first in the next turn. So you alternate actions, and then turns, it's whoever claims the initiative, which essentially means they're done for the phase. I actually have Luke's action that I can still use. Give a shield token to a heroism unit that you played this phase. Well, I played R2 this phase. I have 1 resource left, so let's give a shield token to R2. And then we will pass, and that starts the next turn. You draw 2 cards, you pick 1 to resource, and go from there. Oh, that's unfortunate. I would love to play 3PO. Man, that would be so nice. I would love to keep 3PO. So I think we'll get rid of the ship. I would like to have a Luke's lightsaber, and if we've already resourced 1, the odds of us getting another before we get to Luke at that point is pretty low. Alright, so first I'm going to attack with R2. I can't get it to read his effect, but, well, I get to look at the top card. Oh, there we go. When played, look at the top card of your deck. So I'm going to do that first, and you'll see why in a moment. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my shield here to not take any damage back. Shields absorb damage. I guess I could have explained that, right? Okay, we've got a 3-cost Fleet Lieutenant on top of my deck. No, I'll leave him. So the shield absorbs that damage and then disappears. So now we'll play C-3PO, who choose a number, look at the top of your deck. If it's the cost is that number, you're going to reveal and draw it. So now you might see the synergy between R2 and 3PO. I can play 3PO, guess the cost. I know it's a 3-cost Fleet Lieutenant because I looked at it with R2, and boom, I get to draw that card. My opponent gets to see it, but still, drawing an extra card's big. Alright, Darth Vader is dealing 1 damage to R2 with his action. If you played a villainy card this phase, deal 1 damage to unit and base, and it does cost a resource. I will do Luke's action like I did earlier, and give C-3PO a shield because I was able to play him this turn and had the resource, and then we'll pass. I drew another Fleet Lieutenant. Well, we don't necessarily need 2 of them right now, so let's go ahead and resource 1. We're still indexing toward getting Luke on the ground and getting our Han Solo out. We can attack with R2 first. I hate to lose him hitting this Death Star Stormtrooper, but we are starting to rack up a good bit of damage, so I think we will do that. So let's R2 take out this Death Star Stormtrooper before he gets the chance to hit our base. Top card on my deck is Vanquish, a 5-cost card. No, I'm perfectly happy with that being on the top. We'll lose R2. Ooh, he put up a Sentinel. That is unfortunate. I was planning to kill Viper Probe Droid there. So what we'll do then is play our Fleet Lieutenant. When played, you may attack with a unit. If it's a Rebel unit, it gets +2 attack for that. So we'll actually be able to kill a Sentinel, and our shield will absorb any returning damage. So let's do that. We'll attack with a Rebel unit. Attack with C-3PO. He has to target the Sentinel. Units in this arena cannot attack non-Sentinel units or your base. And luckily, because of our Fleet Lieutenant, we are able to kill him. And we know the card on top of my deck is a 5-cost, so we will reveal and draw it. So that will be the last turn we get to do the full R2 combo to pull that off. But yeah, that will hopefully help. And we took 1 damage from Vader's leader action. Alright, we'll go ahead and give ourselves a shield, but I wouldn't have minded taking the initiative here instead so that we can go first next turn, because there is an advantage to going first most of the time. Alright, I don't see the need to currently hold 2 waylays, so we'll get rid of one of our waylays. We are close to Luke dropping. We need 1 more resource. Our AI opponent has attached Vader's lightsaber to the probe droid, giving it 3 health and a lot of power, so we'll quickly use that shield that we got last turn to knock him out. Again, I think you might see the power of shields. There is a keyword like Sentinel and like Ambush called Saboteur, which on attack disintegrates your shields and does the damage to the unit. So very anti-Sentinel in that regard. I'm going to go ahead and just attack with 3PO. We'll have to blind guess the cost. I believe 3 or 4 is the most common cost in the deck, so let's just guess 3. We missed it. We do know we'll draw an Asteroid Sanctuary card next, though. Alright. We have 5 resources to spend. It's always good to get your attacks in first unless you have some specific reason to wait, because you may lose the unit you want to attack with. Alright, I don't see a need to vanquish this Snowtrooper Lieutenant. He's not that scary. I would like to probably play him, but then we wouldn't be able to spend our other 2 resources, and we want to try to be resource efficient. I don't see a way for us to be resource efficient here, so it's either do we want Yoda, I wouldn't mind Yoda, or do we want a Sentinel to stop him from hitting my base. That may be the correct decision. Let's try to slow our opponent down. We can use one of our 2 resources to give him a shield. Should be able to give him a shield. Well, oh, is he not? Oh, he's not here with him, that's why. So yeah, I did read that earlier. To heroes immediately play space, he's just blue. So, no shield for him. Now, if we had played Yoda, we could have given Yoda a shield. So, something to keep in mind. We did get a ship. We could play a ship. I don't see the need to hold on to Asteroid Sanctuary or Waylay right now. Yeah, I'm not feeling a real need for Waylay at the moment. I believe Darth Vader comes out, yes, next turn. That's going to hurt. So he did this. When played, you may attack the unit. If it's a Imperial unit, it gets +2 for the attack. It's essentially their version of the Fleet Lieutenant with a little worse stats, but 1 cheaper cost. So we do have enough resources to play Luke now, but I have to decide what order I want to do this in. So I'll go ahead and attack with 3PO first, I think. And we'll hazard a guess here. We'll guess 3 again. 2. And of course it's the lightsaber, so I could have resourced this other one earlier. Alright. Alright, let's take out his let's take out his Snowtrooper Lieutenant. We're finally getting control of the board, but most of his units knocked out. Okay, he is going to kill one of my units. Okay, Fleet Lieutenant is gone. That card is just deal 4 damage to a unit. It's that simple. But he's done. He's got things he can do. He's going to take the initiative next turn, and we've got a lot of room to play with. So first things first, let's play Yoda. We have to hold on to 2 resources for this. So now I can use Luke's action to give Yoda a shield. And then I can use Luke's epic action, which does not require him to be ready, to deploy him. Leaders deploy ready. And then I'm going to play his lightsaber, which normally we'd also get to heal him. But I'd rather heal and give him a shield token. But I just want to go ahead and get the damage. And now when he attacks, he gets to create, it's not letting me show you, but I get to give someone a shield token that's not him. So we're going to give C-3PO a shield token, and now both my allied units have shield tokens. So this deck is all about controlling and shield tokens. I don't see the need to hold on to that since we already have one on him. So Vader will come out this turn. I'm hoping that Han Solo can help us deal with him. So if I can get a little bit of damage, so we have 6 and ambush here. So if I can get 2 damage on him, so we'll hit him with Yoda. And we have restore 2 on Yoda, which is a keyword, which attacks heal that much damage from your base. So that's really helpful. And we get our 2 damage, and we lose our shield. We'll see if he decides to kill Yoda or hit my base. He decided to hit my base, and on attack he does 2 damage to a unit. Now I will do this, and we'll get to kill Vader. Tap on into Vader. I do not want to allow that 7 damage to happen to my leader. About that, and to talk to my wife. Alright, let's go ahead and attack with Luke on the base and give a shield token to Yoda. Probably should have given it to Han, to be honest, but that's alright. Alright, let's attack with C-3PO. We'll guess the top card again, or try to. Hey, it is a 3, so we can reveal and draw it. Beautiful. So as you can see, we're starting to get a lot of damage ramped up. We've already taken out his leader, so his leader cannot deploy again. And we now have the initiative for the first time all game. So we're going to open up with a fleet lieutenant, and that's going to do fantastic things for us. So Luke has the most attack here, so fleet lieutenant, attack with a rebel unit, attack with Luke, and attack the base, and it's going to do a lot. And we'll give Han a shield with the on attack. There we go. Alright, so that card is going to do, and friendly opponent is damage equal to its power. All he did was knock off my shield. So now Han can hammer it in for the win. There you go. So that's the basics of how you win a game, how you play a match out. The hardest part is knowing what order to do your actions, knowing what to resource, what your goal is in your deck, when you need to get to a certain point in the game to then start playing for the base or killing units or what decks you play against, but you'll learn that the more you play. I'll show you one more game, this time with more advanced decks. Alright, so now we're playing one of my personal deck for set 3 that I went and competed in a couple tournaments with against the deck I made for my wife. It's just a Luke Skywalker green deck, very similar to the one you saw, just not Luke Skywalker yellow. And mine is a Sabine Wren Energy Conversion Lab. So the base has an ability at the cost of 5 less health. I get to give something ambush. This is a terrible starting hand, so we will mulligan. I have playable options, but I know I have better combinations out there. It's a risk to mulligan. You might get nothing. Alright, I got options. I need to keep this in my hand because I personally know I only have 2 of these in my deck, and it's extremely important for this deck. I have 2 Zebs in my hand already, so I don't see a need to keep both. And this ship, I don't know that I'll get a ton of use out of, so we'll resource it. And that's just about knowing your deck and knowing what you want. That is a fantastic start, probably the best opening turn 1 play that this deck can get, and that for them, and that's Maz on turn 1, because she will start to rack up experience tokens like crazy. That is the single best starting hand you can get with the deck. That is insane. Well, so I still could do something here. I could tap Sabine and do 1 damage to each of our bases, or I take the initiative. I'm going to take the initiative because I know that they're out of things they can do, and I would rather go first than deal 1 damage to each of our bases. Okay, We will resource one of our fleet lieutenants. But fleet, you do want one of the fleet lieutenants on this turn. This is also about ideal for me. So I'll play fleet lieutenant and use that to swing our A-wing in for 5. So that's immediately a huge chunk of his base gone. Okay, he got a ship online. That's Alliance Dispatch ability. Play unit from your hand. It costs 1 less. Since I know he has multiple actions, he's still going to take this turn before they would ever consider taking the initiative. I'm going to use Sabine to do 1 to each of our bases. But I've closed the 5 HP gap already. Okay, Maz is just going to hit my base, and then I'll take the initiative. Who is giving shield token? Probably to Maz. Okay, Maz would have been the correct person to give the shield token there if I was playing and not the AI. Because I believe he gave it 2 shields now. Yeah, so he could have given Maz that shield and then that with Luke. Alright, well I drew 2 wing leaders. I'm drawing 2 of the same card back to back. Give 2 friendly tokens to a friendly rebel unit. Experience tokens give +1/+1. It's what Maz has here. I don't see the need to keep 2 of them in my hand. Alright, so Maz is 3/3 right now, and every time they play a unit, she gets another experience token. So I need to get Maz out of here before this becomes a serious issue. Because the more units they play, the stronger she gets. So I need to quickly do that. I hate losing my units, but that's just the only answer there for me. Alright, he's going to hit my base with his arc. I'm perfectly fine to ignore that, to be completely honest with you. I almost wish I had kept the... almost wish I had kept that second fleet lieutenant. I mean, I'll use wing leader, but I think I would have rather had the fleet lieutenant. Alright, and he's going to attack instead of playing a card there. So my leader's epic action is 4, which is significantly earlier than Luke. How many actions do I think I have left? That determines if I should do something or something else. So I know that I'm going to play wing leader after I epic action Sabine to give her 2 experience tokens. So 1 action, 2 actions, 3 actions. So I know I have at least 3 actions left. He is attacked with everything, so he has probably 2 left at most. So I'll use Sabine's ability here to deal 1 damage to each of our bases before I even bother deploying her. Go ahead and understanding that I'm not going to be getting the initiative. Did he give someone Sentinel? Okay, he gave it to the ship, so that's fine. So now I will deploy Sabine. He's going to give Typho a shield, yes, okay. I'll play Wing Leader and give Sabine some XP tokens, and now he takes the initiative. So even if I had not tapped Sabine, I would have been out by 1 action. So I would have attacked, and then they would have claimed initiative. So Sabine's on attack is 1 damage to the enemy base. I've also got 4 attack to work with. If that shield wasn't there, I'd probably hit him, to be completely honest with you. But we will hit the base, and we will trigger the 1 damage from the on attack, and then 4 into the base. Then we'll pass the next turn again. So now is when they're starting to get some ramping going. I don't need 2 of the Sentinels. This is a fantastic card if I have all my units alive to use it and no Sentinels in my way. He did put a Sentinel in my way. That is unfortunate. Then how would I like to approach this? Well, we could still do it. How would I like to approach this? So we could... Yeah, alright. So let's do this first. So I'm just going to go ahead and lose my wing leader into that shield. Just to try to ease our pain a little bit here. Okay, he's going to attack with the ship and heal 1. And now I know my green squadron can kill it already. Oh, it had 2 shields, didn't it? Ooh, that's so unfortunate. I don't feel like I want to do this. That just feels like a waste of resources at this point. So let's just go ahead and do that for now. Let's see what else he's going to do. I really should get Typho out of here. He's slowing me down quite a lot. Alright, so I can play Zeb. I think that's what I'll do. And I have to decide if I want to run into the shield. I guess we will. Oh my goodness, they just gave it another shield. Alright, well, we'll go ahead and knock one of the 2 shields off. It won't kill us, we'll just take 2 damage. But we are pretty weak now at this point. Alright, let's take the initiative. So we need to get 12 health dead before they can round the corner with their ramping deck here and start, taking a lead. We will get rid of, honestly, red 3 at this point, which is a fantastic ship, but it doesn't feel like the correct move for me right now. We can knock him out here. It's going to be very close. So we're going to use our base's epic action for Wrecker. That's like the quintessential combo with this deck. So action ability, play a unit, cost 6 or less, and give it ambush, and he has overwhelm. That keyword, I don't know why it's not written here, means any damage that would have gone to the defender past their health bar goes to the base instead. So we're going to overwhelm, knock a shield off at Typho, and overwhelm into this guy. So I can defeat a resource and deal 5 damage to a ground unit. Told you that to knock his shield off. And then ambush into him, and I'll get to deal 5 damage straight to the base. $23. So I think we can end it here, unless they send another ground unit. Yep. So I was about to say. All right, so we'll hit with Sabine. We'll get to deal 1 damage to the base, but he has protected it probably. I'm now seeing 2. I had the opportunity to go ahead and hit 3 there, and I probably could have won. So a little bit of a misplay on my end. So when I get to complete an attack, I get to deal 4 damage to a ground unit. Basically, as long as you live through the attack, you get to do 4 damage. So I can use Zeb to knock out Captain Typho. So we've pretty much cleared the board, so we're still going to win, but I could have won that turn had we played that a little bit better, maybe. So that's a Saboteur, the unit I was talking about earlier, that gets to ignore shields. Oh, Luke's on the field. Is he going to kill Zeb? Nope, just going to hit the base. Well, I should be able to win here. He's got no Sentinel on my way. And we'll use this Rebel Assault. We can resource a card, doesn't matter. So this lets me basically, I get to attack with 2 units. So I get to attack with 2 rebels, and they each get +1/+1 for the attack. And as you can see, his base only has 7 health. So we'll hit with Sabine. Now Wrecker's not a rebel, which is why we can't call him. And then Zeb to finish it off. No, it doesn't matter. Alright, well there we go. So yeah, that's a more complicated deck, more aggressive deck on my end, not a controlling, stalling deck. You can see I ended that deck, or ended that game the turn after they deployed Luke. So very quick. Sometimes they end before that. I could have had better plays on mine, but yeah, that's the basics for the game. I hope you've learned a lot about it. I hope it helps you play the game on your own again, whether that's on Force Table or on Karabast, which is a PvP version of this. Essentially, it's a little clunkier, but a PvP version of this, or playing in person and just having fun with the game. And I'll see you in future videos for this or for Galaxy Heroes, whatever content you decide to watch. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.